Women are created for men. They are created to be mothers, wives, and homemakers. Sorry, that's not coming from me. Let's watch this video.
You were created to be a wife, a mother, and a homemaker.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No, I was not. No. No.
Her reaction is interesting. I'm not shocked to have that woman think that way because a lot of women out there think same.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
Let's have a look at the comment section. As a Muslim, I believe I was created as a human being with my own mind. I found peace in the idea of God, so I live by the Quran. It never says you were created to only be those things. Thank you, God. I was created as a trap. My mother thought it would make my father stay. Women had a lot to say in the comment section. Most of the comments were jokes because nobody was buying what she said. Nobody wants to accept that. Nobody believes that. The women in the comment section rejected that statement. They were jokingly giving different reasons why they were created. So do you think you were created to serve a man? Do you agree with what she said? Or do you think you were created to be your own person, your own human?
A lot of men do get married because they want a maid, a chef, a house cleaner, like all of these things, which that's totally fine if that's his wants and needs out of the partner. But then don't expect for her to bring in income just as much as you, but then also take on those roles and also have babies for you. Like, it's just like, how much do you want out of this person? And then when the woman gets tired and she can't like do anymore, then it's upset. Then it's like, oh, she's not the same as she was.
One of the reasons why I chose not to live with my in-laws is because in the Desi community there is this toxic idea that women are made to serve men and women are made to serve their in-laws, and I find it really, really toxic, and I just need to talk about it. If you're new here, my name's Shamiha. I've been married for 7 years, and let's just get into it. So many women I know that end up living with their in-laws and have this expectation that they're supposed to serve their husbands and their in-laws. And for me, luckily my parents weren't too much like into that ideology, but I'm like the only person, like the only entity that I should be serving is God. Like, obviously I want to help out with my family, but why would I have the responsibility to serve anybody else but God? And so I really struggle with it. And if you didn't know, I'm also autistic, so I'm always going to ask a lot of questions, and if I don't agree with something, I simply don't agree. So this is why I clashed a lot with my in-laws, because even though my husband's not like that, you know, women are taught that they're supposed to serve, and I was just like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not serving my purpose isn't to serve my husband and my in-laws. So I found that really strange. So as soon as me and my husband got married, I was like, I'm not cooking you dinner every night. It's not just my responsibility. You're going to have to learn to cook. And my husband is a really good cook now. And for example, my husband's, like, the men in his family have never changed a diaper or a nappy or whatever, but my husband has changed hundreds and hundreds of our daughters' nappies, because I just don't think that women should take the load of everything, particularly in today's society where, like, it's not affordable for just one person to work. But even if I was a stay-at-home mom, like, my purpose isn't to serve my in-laws. And I also don't get it, like, why would I not serve my parents instead of serving my in-laws. Like, I really don't understand this idea, and I find it so frustrating. Like, surely I'm going to get asked about my parents by God rather than my in-laws. Let me know what your thoughts are, but this is one of the reasons why I can't live with my in-laws, because I refuse to serve.
Personally, I believe I was created to be an individual, to do me, live my life for myself. I don't believe God created me to serve a man, to do all that stuff that men want women to do, to become a slave to a man, or to become a slave to the society. I don't think that was why God created me. And there is nothing wrong in being married. There's nothing wrong in wanting to be a mother. There's nothing wrong in taking care of your house, your home. But don't think as a woman you were created just for that. There is more you can do for the world. Don't limit yourself to just that. Don't think your duty stops at that. Don't think you were created just to support a man. No, don't buy that idea. I believe you can do more.
Would you let your daughter date a man like you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. If my daughter dates a man like me, I have failed in life. I'm going to tell you that right now, bro. Because I don't want her to deal with a man who's manipulative and treacherous, disloyal, a scumbag, you know what I'm saying? I want her to have a man who's got money, lives by himself, independent. You get what I'm saying? All of the things that I'm not. So nah, I don't want her to date no one like me. Absolutely not.
Wow. Just wow. As always, we thank you for your honesty, I guess. I really hope the women who are fighting over him, because let's face it, men like this always seem to have women fighting over them. I hope that they see this, that he is telling the world that he is manipulative and selfish and treacherous. I mean, even if you take women out of it, those are not qualities that you want in a friend, whether you're a man or a woman. Hell, those are not qualities that you want in a family member.
Dear men, may your daughters meet guys like you.
That was a confession right there. I hope he changes his ways. I hope after saying that, he went home to reflect and made up his mind to treat whichever woman he has in his life differently. That's a lot of bad behavior to have. It's not about him talking about it. It's more about him wanting to change, to be a better person, to treat the women he has in his life better. Obviously, he's aware of how he is. He's very much aware of how he treats women. I wonder the women he's been manipulating. I wonder the women he's been dishing out such bad behavior or bad behaviors to. So he actually called himself a failure. Of course, he's a failure. Any man that behaves like that is a failure, because there's really nothing to write about when it comes to your behavior. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. He's describing himself and thinks it's funny, but he expects his wife to stay on. Exactly. Why is he laughing? I don't know, because that's not funny. Their daughters deserve better, but they can't be better for us. We are somebody's daughter. You see, the double standard. I love the fact that they are more transparent these days. They don't hide it. It's us women failing ourselves to accept these things. Well, his wife is someone else's daughter too. They don't think about it. They're very selfish. All they do is think about themselves. It never occurred to him that the women he had in his life are also people's daughters. My dad is the same way. He doesn't want my man to be nothing like him. They know how they treat women and refuse to change. That's the focus. Change. It's not about talking about it. It's not about being honest about it. It just doesn't end there. It's about you reflecting and wanting to do differently. Be a better version of yourself. Treat people better. You can't be granting an interview and saying you're manipulative and laughing about it. There's really nothing funny about that. They tell us who they are, but we refuse to say it. True. I tell you, there are some women that will listen to this interview and they will still agree to date that man.
I heard that you didn't let your daughters date until they were in their late teens. Is this right?
Right.
And that you grilled the potential suitors when they started dating them?
Every boy had to come to me.
Tell me the process. Tell me the story there.
Well, they would come, the boys would come, hey, you wanna, and she was taught, you gotta go talk to daddy. We don't even talk about this. You go talk to daddy. 2 of my son-in-laws today, for years, they would come. It's like, I'd like to, yeah, and they'd come to me and they're like, I'd like to, write your daughter. I'd like to. I'm like, no. Nope. Well, what about this? No. Why not? It's like, look, you're a good kid, but my problem with you is you're a kid. All right. Grow up. And 2 of my son-in-laws, there were literally years. They kept coming back and I'm like, no, let me see what kind of man you're going to become. Okay. My daughter's not marrying a boy. And a lot of boys, they grow up to not be good men. So why let her get into an emotional attachment with a boy who will never grow up? And why am I not protecting her from that heartache in the future? And both of them now are married to my daughters, but there came a point years later, I'm like, okay, I've watched you. All right. You grew up. You can contact my daughter now.
So it's been like half a year since the separation of my daughter's dad and me. And you would think that you would be better by now, but it truly doesn't get better. And I don't know why people say that you'll be good in 3 months. Like, it's been 6 months. And obviously this isn't going to go away by next week, so I know it's going to be even longer and longer and longer, because I'm feeling how I felt on day 1. It doesn't go away. No matter what hobbies you do, your friends, hanging out, going out, it doesn't fix it. It doesn't fix the loneliness feeling you get when you come back home into the bed, empty, by yourself. And then you wanting to tell this person the accomplishments that you're doing and sad things that has happened, just wanting to vent to them, and that person's no longer there, that person doesn't care, and you still want to try and try and try, and this person talks to you like a robot. No, it's like this person has transformed literally into a robot. Like, it doesn't even feel like he's human to me anymore. He has no emotions towards me. And it's like, seeing him be dead in the eyes with me just hurts. Because I did nothing wrong to this man. I did nothing wrong. He hurt me, and I'm the one who feels like this for half a year. And it's gonna keep continuing how I feel. And it's not fair. It's not fair what I'm going through. And it's like, I don't get it. And I live by that sometimes you'll find your person during your lowest moments, because during my lowest moments, that's when I found her dad, my daughter's dad. And he helped me love again. He helped me become the person I was. And I truly believe that maybe God brought him into my life to show me that I was capable of being loved for that time being. And I was capable of loving someone again, even after my first heartbreak. So I guess in a way it taught me that maybe in my third relationship I will have, that maybe this person might come during my depressive moment. It could be tomorrow, and I'm blinded by it until months later, and I'm like, oh, you helped me be happier. Like, I'm trying to think in that way, like maybe my person will come. It's like, it's not that I can't be alone. I just have so much love to give, and I wish somebody could love me the way that I love people. I wish someone could love me the way I love others. Because I feel like I deserve that. I deserve that. I am worthy of being loved. I'm worthy of being asked how my day is. Like, I feel annoying, and it's like, I know someone out there won't see me as this annoying person. Anyways, I'm gonna stop crying, and I don't know if I'm gonna stop crying, but I'm gonna try and stop crying and do my skincare and try to do something with my day. Anyways, sorry for my rant. Hope y'all take care.
It's important to remember that you will never feel the same emotion forever. Feelings come and go. When you're in a dark place, your brain only remembers the bad feelings. Allow yourself to feel. It's been 4 years and my therapist explained to me as grief, even though I don't love him. I'm grieving a life I had planned for myself. He was narcissistic, so I'm still learning a lot about the trauma. Took me a couple of months, but it truly hurts. It's hard too because they are physically alive, but the person that you fell in love with is gone. It's never going to get better deep inside. I'm 7 years separated from my daughter's dad, and I haven't seen him in years. He's a stranger to me now, but I mourn him every day. You just have to accept. I promise you it will get better. After 14 years, being left for the mistress and a baby 6 months later, it will. You feel sick every morning and then it stops. I'm 3 years out, and coming from a woman who is still married to that man, we were together for almost 11 years. You can do this, mamas. I was pregnant when I finally left him. It's hard, but you got this. Until you realize that you're worth so much more than reminiscing on a memory of what I used to be, you're not going to be able to move on. You need to heal first before you can jump into another relationship. It took me 8 years. You have to just know eventually it will go away. Just be patient with yourself. It gets better, I promise. I felt all this heartbreak. It's been 7 months and I left my 13 years of an unmarriage to narcissistic husband. I'm divorcing him now with 2 children. I lost my 13 years old son. My old son. I'm broken.
2 single moms decided to move in together and show up for each other after men didn't show up for them. Mom Chanel Wolf announced that she had just moved in with her new parenting partner. She was so proud that they were going to save money and that they had a house with a yard. Moving in with a roommate was never part of Wolf's life plan, but as a 36-year-old single mom, life took some unexpected twists and turns. But even though times were hard, she showed up as a mom, ensuring that her daughter felt safe and loved. Wolf's new roommate/parenting partner, Amber, is also a single mom, and this new arrangement will give them both the support that they need since neither of them have family nearby. A couple of weeks after moving in, Wolf provided an update, saying that the ways that she and Amber show up for each other are like nothing she could have ever imagined. Things are just getting done. No one even has to ask, and the little girls are starting to get along. Wolf is even making plans for backyard chickens and converting the garage into a pink playroom for the girls. And Wolf is recognizing that every time she's received unconditional love and support in her life, it's come from a girlfriend. The idea of a mommune isn't new, and there are benefits for the moms who get to share the burden of finances and childcare while finding companionship with other single moms, as well as benefits for children who have built-in playmates and additional trusted adults in their lives. It's an alternative living arrangement that can work beautifully. Wolf hopes that her story will inspire other single moms to stop waiting around for a man to show up and instead turn to their fellow women for support. Because women supporting women, we absolutely love to see it.
I've been saying that women need to do this since the 90s. This is the way to do it, ladies. My sister, who just left her husband, told me that every woman she knows personally is doing the same thing. I suggested that they all just buy a plot of land and raise their children together. I've literally been thinking about this so much. Like, the man I love is unreliable, so let me just conceive and make friends with other single mummies. So ladies, what do you think about mom news? Is that something you might consider should you find yourself in that position? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to hear men confessing to not loving their wives anymore, and I'll see you all in another one. Thanks for watching.